What's up everyone, welcome back to the comic book video. Now before I begin, I just want to say thank you so much for showing support on the previous comic book videos. The reason why I'm saying this extremely fast so we can start the comic book review. Now anyways, let's go ahead and begin. Now the next comic book that we have is the DC Universe Rebirth issue 1. And it's the Nightwing series, which this is the one where it starts off, folks, just a heads up. And by the way, this is the variant. I wanted it because, as I mentioned in my comic haul video, take a good look at the background. It's the Court of Owl's mask. Really nice. And the cool thing is, in this series, it's not like a retelling or anything. It doesn't start off like how it did with, Red Hood and the Outlaws, giving you a brief kind of like history of what happened with him. It starts off with two creepy people in the graveyard. Literally, this is the best way that I could put it or describe it, because literally, as you're reading and you're staring at the images, they look very creepy. And there's no other words to use. I'm repeating the same word because that's what it really is. But anyways, they're looking for something and digging for something in the graveyard. And they finally come across this kind of like coin box thing, which is like very freaking bizarre to begin with. But the weird thing is, one of the characters, the lady, starts speaking in like a kind of poetic kind of, I guess you could say, dialogue. So obviously there's some kind of story towards it. At first I thought it was like Solomon Grundy digging for something, but you know, that's not Solomon Grundy. Who is that person? But then they come across somebody else who was paid to kind of like, kill these people, which is some kind of start that is, right? But then we finally get to the Nightwing part. So it starts off in the theater, and on the stage you get to see them doing kind of like gymnastics and, quote unquote Grayson's type of deal. Over the balcony you see this kind of like Cobra looking guy about to come out and like, stab or kill people on the side. But luckily Nightwing shows up, does a flip, kicks him off the stage, or kicks him off the balcony. But what surprises me the most is the dialogue in between, how he starts to tell people, how he starts to tell you as a reader, because he's talking to himself, why he chose the way he did, what he was expecting out of the whole Batman scenario, because he thought that people were just thinking that it's just some other guy showing up in another bird costume and teaming up with, Batman, or calling himself Robin, something like that along the lines. The part that surprises me is when he whispers to the family or the people that he saved, and he says that he whispers to them, "The Parliament of Owls sends its regards." And that's the part where I'm just like, wait a minute, didn't you just tell Batman that you weren't part of that thing? What's going on here? But then he shows up at one of their buildings, or like their main places, and you see the Court of Owls right there on the damn TV screens, and the main lady who's right there on the bottom. But obviously they're not using the signature signature white masks. They're actually using the black masks, which is scary. Like, honestly, it's very scary. And they start to tell Nightwing, like, they notice that you're still being a superhero, but you're not really doing a supervillain, type of things. They said, we were very excited when Lincoln March recruited you, but now we're having doubts about you because you're still playing this heroic role. And then Nightwing tells them that if you want him to stay, they have to abide by the way that he wants to do things, not the way they want him to do things. So they tell him that he has to go to some other place and team up with another kind of person to start on this mission. Afterwards, we see him inside the Batcave watching Batman train Damian Wayne. And he looks at Damian and he goes, "Damian, watch out. He always dodges left, but he swings with the right, so watch his right." And then Bruce turns around and goes like, "Wait, I thought I was the teacher." And he kept telling Damian to pay attention before that panel started. And then Damian finally goes in, swings, punches Batman because Batman, wasn't paying attention. And he tells him, "Pay attention, Batman." And then boom, KO basically. It was a brutal hit. It was so messed up. It was so messed up. So he starts telling Batman about the plans that the Parliament of Owls wants Nightwing to do. And Batman turns around, looks at him and says, "I need you to stop asking me questions, because you told me that you were able to handle this by yourself, because this is no longer the Batman Incorporated." Which kind of sucks, but it was kind of nice of the book to mention a Batman Incorporated. But the cool thing was, Batman now understands that Nightwing can do this by himself, and Nightwing's like, "Yeah, you're right." So Batman says, "I'm willing to offer you any kind of tools and stuff like that, as much as you need in order for you to, to complete this task." And then Batman turns around and looks at Damian and says, "All right, break time's over. It's time to start training again." And then Nightwing's like, "Well, I gotta go anyways, because I gotta meet up with Barbara, aka Batgirl." Damian Wayne is teasing over there going like, "Ooh, it's a date." And he's like, "No, it's not a date." And then Nightwing shows up to meet up Batgirl, and then he's like, "Wait, it's not a date?" And Barbara's like, "All you said was just meet on the bridge, so I thought it was something super heroic." And she's like in her Batgirl costume, and Nightwing or Dick Grayson is right there in like some plain suit, or not a suit, just like well dressed as like a date type of deal. But the reason why he wanted to meet up with her is because he's gonna be going to another country to do a mission. And he was trying to see her one last time before he has to go play spy, and he tells Barbara that, and Barbara gets pissed because she's like, "You just got your secret identity back. Why would you want to jeopardize that again by doing these missions?" But then Barbara tells him, "When you come back, we can go for a coffee date." and that she hopes that he brings her back a souvenir, which you get to see in a couple pages down. But the next page you see Nightwing already in Russia, and he saves some guy, and then he goes up to the guy and he says, "Department of Alice sends its regards." And he looks at this briefcase that's on the floor, and Nightwing goes, "Oops, forgot about this," and he grabs the briefcase and goes. So you see Nightwing with a souvenir because it has the name Barbara on it, but he bumps into the guy that he's supposed to meet, and that guy's name is the Raptor. Now the Raptor's trying to tell him, like, you just let your guard down. You came over here, and the moment you saw that there was no one around, you just decided to just relax and sit down, but that's where you're wrong. You shouldn't be doing things like that. You should be more careful. And then Nightwing's like, "Well, I told the Department of Alice that I don't need any help. I'm actually here to do this for myself, so thank you so much for, for stopping by," or something like that. So he tries to like jump up this wall, and then the Raptor just like freaking kicks him like, bam, straight into the wall, and it looked painful as hell, man. Like, you start at the panel, and if you read the Injustice comics, you start at the panel and you're like, please don't let it be another Injustice moment for Nightwing. No. At this point, they're both fighting back and forth between the Raptor and Nightwing, and they're throwing punches and swings, and then the Raptor's just teasing him with the name Barbara. He's like, "See, this is your weakness. You keep thinking about this one person when you should be thinking about the bigger task." And Nightwing's like telling him to shut up constantly, over and over, repeatedly, and then finally, the Raptor throws out this like gas thing from his glove, and just one hits friggin' Nightwing down to the floor. And before the comic ends, the Raptor looks down at Nightwing and tells him, "Everything that Batman has taught you is incorrect. I'm about to teach you the right ways, or the correct ways to handle situations," is what he's trying to tell him throughout the entire thing. But anyways, folks, that's basically it for this comic book. But like I said, it's going to be pretty interesting to see how this comic goes. Hopefully it goes in a direction that we can all, enjoy it, because it does look promising, because I would love to know more about this Department of Alice thing going on. And I hope they kind of implement that also in the Batman run itself, because I would love to see more Court of Owls kind of stuff going on. But, yeah, everybody, thank you all so much for watching the comic book video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I do have another one, but I think I want to take a break for today because it's getting extremely hot and I'm hungry. But thank you so much for watching. My little dog over here is sleeping again, and I'm going to go ahead and walk him out, and then I'm going to start eating and stuff like that. But again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching the video, and I'll see you all on my live streams or on my gaming channel or on my the gaming videos and stuff like that. But again, thanks so much for watching. Peace out, everyone.